and they don't want.
We are back in agony. We are here at a special time, and we are so glad that you guys were able to join us. It is good to see you, Patricia. Good to see you, of course. And I know we have a few lurkers, so if you're lurking, say hello. Don't be shy. But we are very excited because we're not only diving into Voyager on the 30th anniversary of the show, but we are joined by, hey man, guy, Jacob. Welcome to the Captain's Quadrant.
Hi, nice to be here. I'm happy to have been invited.
This is, oh, look at that. It's about time you guys showed up. We're on time, man. I put out a thing that said 9:30. I swear to God.
Yeah, we've been waiting. Where have you been, my figure universe? So rude.
Very nice worked around my schedule. So.
Yeah, we were kind.
Yeah, it's his fault. His fault.
Before we thank our patrons, I want to say speedy recovery to your missus, Jessica. I know she had what I had, and it is not pleasant. I had, well, we're not going to get into health things here. I made a promise. So we're going to go right into our patrons. We're going to thank our conspirators, Joseph Rito and Denise Hill, and our transgressors, none other than Holly Mac 79, and of course, the unforgettable and incomparable Jonas Borg. Hopefully you're doing well. It's been a minute since we've seen you, so maybe you're the lurker. We hope you're lurking well. And of course, at our Paragon level, we want to thank the incomparable Ames, who is AKA Teddy's handler. So big thanks to all of you guys, our patrons. And we're going to hop right into it with the synopsis. Jason Roy Gaston, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, here we go.
S5 E18 course Oblivion. After Paris and Torres tie the knot, the ship and crew start to disintegrate on the molecular level. Well, they wanted fireworks for their wedding night, and they got them, baby. They got them.
So go ahead, Jason.
That plot description comes straight. I was researching this earlier, and I went on Paramount Plus, and that was their pitch for the episode. It's like, Tom and B'Elanna tie the knot. And then everyone starts to fall apart. It's like, way to bury the lead, you guys. It's like, it's like tonight on the Jim has his birthday party, and then Michael gets cancer.
Oh, jeez.
Gotta balance it out better than that.
Yeah.
Well, whenever B'Elanna says this is the greatest day of my life, now she's being honest.
Oh man, that's rough. That's very rough. Before we go, it's very honest. It's very honest. Before we go any further, I want to say the reason why we're doing this episode and there was no wheel spinning is because this is the season finale of the Agony Booth. This wraps up our 6th season. And if you don't know, we are not a type of podcast that does seasons, but we split it up into seasons. And every time there's no show on Star Trek that we debrief, we split it up into seasons. That's why there's 6 of them since we've been launched. So,
why am I only just now hearing about this?
I made it up as it went along, man.
I didn't know we were doing seasons.
Yeah. We're on IMDb now, so you've been getting tagged a lot. I don't know.
You get on IMDb, all of a sudden it's like, we've done seasons. And I'm like, since when?
Yeah, we're organized, right?
When is the hiatus? Do we get a hiatus now?
We get a 2-week hiatus after your Wormholes episode.
Woohoo! All right, cool. I wasn't going to be here anyway, so that works out.
Okay. Yeah, the reason why we're doing this episode is because when I was doom scrolling, I stumbled upon Jacob's amazing work and comedy, and I had been doom scrolling through his stuff because I thought it was hilarious with the, hey man, I got this really bad gig, and he just kind of puts himself into incredible situations. It's hilarious, and there's a tape playing in the background as if he's called in and left a voice message on the old school voice message machine, and he does another couple of things and a lot of Star Trek stuff, and one of them was about this one, and I said, this sounds like an Agony Booth episode. Let's see if I can get him on, and here he is.
Hey,
Yay! Don't tell anybody about the $5 I gave you. No.
I'm here of my own accord.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
I am here of my own accord, not being coerced in any way.
My dog, Teddy has him in the corner.
A little switchblade to his neck.
Our beloved dog. He's this real sweet dog. Let me tell you. Yes, we're a very animal-friendly show here.
That's the dog. I have 2 dogs.
Oh, so you know.
Yes, I have. They're both mutts from New Mexico that should not be owned by anybody, but we've had them for, it is what it, but we love them to death. We have Ellie and we have Tia Tortilla, which is my favorite name for any dog.
That is very clever. We went with Teddy.
That shouldn't be owned by anybody. That's how I describe my children.
All right, well, let's hop into it. Let's no longer muck about. WTF, what we just watched, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, I'm going to let Jason Roy Gaston start us off so you get kind of the flow of how the show goes.
Don't follow me. Don't do that. So, you guys ever watch Pee-wee's Playhouse and how every morning he would go up to Conky and get the secret word of the day, and then he would just be kind of like, today's secret word is big. Well, I would like you to imagine that Course Oblivion is an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, and Janeway walks up to Tuvok, like hits him in the boob, and like this pops out of his navel. She goes, "Today's secret word is hopelessness," because that is what this episode is. This episode radiates hopeless energy like a space heater. Voyager's just cruising along. It's the best day ever. Everybody's cheerful. Janeway's in a good mood, which should be a big red flag. Tom and B'Elanna are getting married, another big red flag. And everything just kind of feels off. Like everything's too good. It's like sitcom energy. It's quiet. It's too quiet. And it's like if a horror movie insists the house has, in a horror movie, when somebody goes into a house and says the house has good bones, but it turns out the bones are cursed and haunted and melting at the same time. That is Course Oblivion. Now, this is a sequel to an episode that a lot of people don't think should have had a sequel in the first place. The episode Demon. I kind of liked Demon. I thought it was a really cool idea, but a lot of people didn't like it. More people like Course Oblivion, which is weird because I like Demon, but I didn't really care for this one. This is just the most dour, bleak, hopeless episode, just showing characters we love trying to survive and pretend to be Starfleet officers through the sheer power of denial and vibes. This is an episode where they want to be Voyager, but the universe just whispers, no. Because everything goes wrong. Systems fail. Crew members are melting like they're in the Wizard of Oz and somebody just threw water on them. The Doctor, who... Did they create the Doctor? I don't understand how that works. Okay, so... Yeah, they got
duplicated the emitters. So it duplicated the Doctor.
Okay.
How that works, it shouldn't work at all. There shouldn't be clone ship. That doesn't make sense.
No, there should not be a Voyager. It should just be them on the surface of the planet going,
Demon doesn't show them with a double ship. It shows them just standing around kind of in the desert.
Did they build a ship? Did the ship just like come out of the ground like the T-800, T-1000? I don't know. These are questions that should have been answered. I just wanted even the Doctor to go, okay, this makes no sense. Wait a second. Where did this ship even come from? No, that's like the first of many major complaints I have about this episode. Janeway looks like through the entire episode is just going through complete molecular collapse. And she says, what if we just go faster? That's her modus operandi for this whole episode is let's just go faster. If we go faster, everything will be fine. But yeah, they figure out they're all copies. They've got the same memories. They've got the same dreams. They're a desperate desire to matter. They aren't supposed to last. They were never supposed to make it home. But instead of giving up, they decided to finish the mission anyway, which is heroic and also hopeless at the same time because The real Voyager's out there. It's living. It's thriving. Probably having a really good Neelix subplot at the moment. And these poor goo doppelgangers are just racing towards a finish line that literally no longer exists for them the entire time. And then comes the emotional knife twist where they just disintegrate. There's no warning call. There's no distress call, no warning, no record. They just vanish like they were never there. And then Voyager just sails past the debris field, and Janeway's like, huh, okay, let's keep going. That's Oblivion. And it's where the episode works for me. I'll talk about this later because I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, that's a whole nother segment.
Yeah. No, I get really, really passionate when I talk about this episode, though. Because to me, it is about that close to being a pure masterpiece. But they blow it in so many ways. And I think it's one of those things where they did not realize they blew it until the episode actually aired, and then they looked at it and thought, oh dear. But that's my thoughts so far. I will come back to more later because I have many, many, many violent thoughts about this gooey little episode.
I don't think they blew it. While I still don't think it completely lands where they wanted it to, because again, I mentioned this to Joe going in. Like, this episode was written by Brian Fuller and Carl Sagan's son, Nick Sagan, which you probably know already. It's just kind of nuts, but it's structured like a comedy, and that everything has not payoff, but the payoff is not laughter. It is you going, "Oh my God, that made everything worse." And it's just the first time when I saw this I grew up. I was watching Voyager as it was airing for the last few seasons, so that was around 2000. I was like in 8th grade, and when that episode aired, I was like 11 or whatever. It freaked me out because I didn't know TV shows were allowed to end that way. It's like, no way. This is illegal. What they have done is against the law. And now, as I've seen it more of a time, it's like, I can see what Brian and Nick are doing in the background, and it's almost funny.
In the background, the ceremonial knife going.
And by the way, can I submit that we call them Goopelgangers?
Yes.
I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Goopelganger.
Always an important answer. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but any sense of it. But I love
German.
Kind of love it because it doesn't completely make sense. But I don't really care if things make sense because I'll just make something up to explain it in my mind. Like someone goes, "Oh, they didn't explain how this works," and I live by that principle. I'm sure you've seen every episode of the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons, like everybody who's over 38. But that Lucy Lawless bit about a wizard did it. For everything, even in Star Trek, there's no wizards. I'm like, a molecule did it. I don't care. I'll make something up to cover it in the back end. I'm not one for logic. And like, this episode is all about bathos. It's just an experiment in layering bathos on top of itself. So I've gone on for too long, but
no, you're good. You're good.
Kind of love it, even though it's not in like my top 10. I don't think, but it's fun to watch all these characters suffer in such comical ways. So far past the point of acceptability.
When I rewatched this for the first time in probably 30 years, because I only watched Voyager the one time all the way through, and then came back to like certain episodes. Like, Year of Hell really does it for me. It's one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek Voyager, and not just because I always envision Red going 7 to 9, you're a dumbass. You know, like it's one of those things that kind of like brain cannon. But I also felt at the time I was a bit jaded because it's like, wow, the technology is really good on this show, and the other ones didn't really get that much technology for like how the ship looks when it flies around and such. Mm-hmm. So I always kind of like, well, the technology that they have is the same as First Contact. It looks identical to me. So I always felt like a lot of the reasons why people didn't go and watch the TNG movies is because you had TNG at home. Mom said you had TNG at home.
Well, it's also all of them sucked after First Contact, but
yeah,
minor thing.
Nemesis is not that bad. I keep saying this. It's okay.
Nemesis is held up by the fact that Tom Hardy is a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
And even at the time, he was okay. I mean, he's done more interesting things since then, but I think that movie, if he hadn't tried to sell that character as well as he could, it could have easily fallen apart. Plus, he got Ron Perlman in makeup, and I just always loved having Ron Perlman running around in makeup.
This is mine, signed by Brent Spiner.
My cats keep taking my copy of Star Trek Nemesis off my shelf and burying it in their litter box.
The only Star Trek movie I own is the Robert Wise one, Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh wow,
it's excellent.
I guess.
Yes, we'll be talking about that at the end of the show. So going back and watching it with the show, it was like, oh, I really like, now that technology's advanced again, it's like, oh, okay, now it's like not so great, but the stories are really well written, and then when they're off writing, they're really off, and it makes it fun. We've spoken with the Emmy award-winning special effects creator Thomas Sopran, who made the incredible Threshold baby salamanders, and to experience what goes behind some of this creation, I look at a lot of the special effects and the way that their faces melted. Were like watching an episode of Batman the Animated Series where Clayface just took over the entire ship, and that kept burrowing in my head, like, this is Clayface, this is Clayface. One of them just gonna go get you, Batman, it just never happened. So it's a very odd one, and it was really weird. Hey, what's up, Damon J and Karen McLeod? Good to see you both. It was always weird to kind of see all this melting going on, and then right in the middle of the episode, instead of finding out this mystery box, because they were building it up like, hey, there's this big mystery, why are we melting? The ship is melting, then us, and B'Elanna's dead. This really sucks. And then you get this like really poignant ripped right off of Highlander.
Just saw that for the first time like a week ago.
What, Highlander?
Yeah, the original movie. I'm aware of Highlander and all that, but I'd never seen the movie until like last week.
Love those movies, but how like almost carbon copy was the death scene for B'Elanna past the death scene to Rachel. It was almost the same speech. Oh, they're not looking at their wives. They're looking in the distance, describing things that's going to happen that's not going to happen because their wives are about to die. So I was like, this is almost exactly the same. So maybe there was a Highlander fan, which might have brought it up for me a little bit. But
that's like any World War II movie where your friend's been shot in the belly. It's like, we're going to get back home.
Yes.
We do it. It's like, yeah, we're going to open it. That's going to happen, buddy.
Yeah, you're going to make it. You're going to make it.
Look at the sunset. You think about that down there.
Yeah. So there is a lot of fun that is had by this. And it is amazing that I could see those connections and still not be too thrilled about this episode. But let us get into our next section. So why would they do this? Yes, why would they do that? Why would they make a ship of melties just go off in the distance and defy all logic of science and space and time?
Because it's sad.
We did a sad episode. We wanted to really do a sad one.
It's fun to make people feel things. This is not me trying to name drop or anything like that. This is just cool that it happened. I posted that episode on TikTok and share a few other things talking about Course Oblivion. Mm-hmm. And Brian Fuller reposted it on his Insta story, and I messaged him just to say, oh, thanks for doing that. And he got back to me and just said, well, this is actually one of my favorite episodes that I wrote for Voyager. And so he also asked me to do a specific DS9 episode that I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not worried about spoiling myself. If I end up not doing it, I don't want to get mad at myself later, but that was pretty cool. And he apparently liked it, as did Nick Sagan. Is it Nick Sagan? I can't remember.
Sure. Billy Bob Sagan. It doesn't matter.
Billy Bob Sagan. Fernando Sagan.
Yeah.
But so it's just, I think because it makes you feel something, sometimes that's all I want from a piece of art, is a feeling other than boredom or anger at the people who made it. Like, those are the two things I don't want to feel. If you can effectively make me feel anything else, I'm a happy camper.
Gotcha.
Sorry if I cut over at either of you there.
No, you're good. We didn't. specify anybody. We wanted you to jump in there and go for it because now you've gotten the flow of the show and you've jumped right in. So very good, Jason.
You are an interrupting weirdo just like us. Welcome.
Yeah, you fit right in.
So, I am of the mind that I
Mhm.
think that Star Trek Voyager thrived whenever it was at its most experimental. And some of the most experimental episodes did not feature the Voyager crew at all. For example, Living Witness is one of my favorite episodes, and that's the one
where
where
the doctor goes to the
that's-
future.
yeah, that's the one where the doctor's backup module that he didn't have until that episode wakes up in the future, and they're like, "Yeah, we've got this. Here's our idea of what we think the Voyager crew was like," and he's like, "No, this is crazy. You guys are dumb." And then there's another fantastic episode called Distant Origin, which nobody ever talks about. Nobody ever says how this episode, and usually whenever I hear people talk about it, they're like, "Oh, that's the dinosaur episode. That was so stupid." No, it was a great episode about truth and science, and how science can be mutated by society. And all people remember is that's the one about the dinosaurs. Yeah, okay, yeah, that had dinosaur people in it. But you know what? Doctor Who does a dinosaur people episode, and everybody's like, "I love the Silurians." But yeah, sorry.
I appreciate an origin, but the analogy is a little too on the nose for me. Like it feels like I can see the strings, and it doesn't completely play for me as well. And also, it's funny me just saying I usually don't worry about whether things make sense. The concepts in that episode are effing ridiculous.
Oh no, I still enjoy it.
I get that. Now we're just funny that we're now taking the opposite viewpoint that we were.
The show is at its best whenever I'm correct and everyone else is wrong.
I get that.
That's how it works.
Like you're right.
Also, Distant Origin also has some of the most fantastic directing I've ever seen in a Star Trek episode in it. Because some of the shots they have are just like, oh, I love it. But anyway, let me get back to the wet gooey episode here. That's what I think they were doing. I think they were trying to do another "This isn't really the Voyager crew" episode, and for the most part, it works. Excuse me, just a second. I have to
lose his lunch.
There we go. Now I'm good. I'm all right. Let's talk about the rest of this episode.
All right, Harvey.
So I think this was a case of them doing a complete worst case scenario episode in the vein of Year of Hell. Like, what if our crew faced something that they could not escape? Just this coming doom, where as Jacob said, it's like a joke, except every punchline just gets worse and worse and worse. Because they honestly can't catch a break in this episode. They have hope every once in a while, then the galaxy just kind of goes, nah, get back down there.
The writers, because they almost let the time capsule at the end be found.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck them. It's like
yeah, that's how it ends.
You know what's the funniest part about that time capsule? If they would have just left it on the ship and not even bothered to try to launch it, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Just floated off out into space. What's this? Oh my God, it's a time capsule. Is there coffee in it? I don't care. Throw it away.
My favorite bitter thing about this episode, and again, I mentioned it on my TikTok, I'll say it again, is that the whole reason everything starts dissolving is because they invent a more advanced form of warp drive that can move them faster, but it also makes their components like disintegrate. And not only are they all dying, it's also their fault.
Yes, they've killed them. It's suicide mission.
Death by warp core.
Yeah.
Sorry, Janeway. You should have gotten that. You should have made contact a little sooner. Maybe they could have told you about the warp core. Like, no, we're dying. Great. Tell us about your warp core. Hurry. TikTok. But one thing that I do like about this episode is that it shows a crew with resilience. They never stop trying. Even when things get hopeless and meaningless, they never stop. I mean, Tom Paris, who I normally like, but in this episode, I don't like him at all. Because he's always making these comments. It's not like she's the real captain anyway. I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth. He kind of reverts back to first season Tom for a while, but he gets a little bit better. But these people on this ship, even though they are not our Voyager crew, they still live, they still love, and they still try. They are Starfleet to their core.
Yeah.
even if they were made out of goo and a little bit of regret mixed in. So is it a comedy? Yeah, if you like laughing at bleakness, sure, why not?
Both. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a sad episode or that it's so bad that it's funny. It's just I can approach it from these two. Like, as a viewer, it's devastating, and as a writer, you're just like, I see everything you're doing here, man. That's
Honestly,
so
you could put a laugh track on this episode, and I think it would become funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Captain, what? Launch the probe. Oh, the probe's been destroyed. Ha ha ha.
No laugh track. I just want that sound from that butterfly catching episode of SpongeBob, where every time something goes wrong, you just hear wah, wah, wah. Over and over.
I don't know. This is Star Trek Voyager looking at the camera and saying, sometimes you do everything right and it still doesn't matter.
I think
but at the same time, I find that beautiful in a way. And I know that is such a weird thing to say. This is just an episode that is nothing but a liquid, gooey ball of despair. But it is the human condition that no matter what, you just don't stop trying. You've got until you've got nothing but the eternal ensign on the bridge of the Voyager. Everybody else is dead, and he's just like, launch the probe destroyed. Dude, geez, I don't know. Roll down a window, I'll scream at them.
Yeah.
But
it's funny that the human condition just now. Have you seen the movie by that title?
Which one?
It's a series of 3 films by, I can't remember the director's name. It's a great Japanese director. I think Masaki Kobayashi. I might be getting it wrong. It's a 3 trilogy called The Human Condition, parts 1, 2, and 3. And the ending of the 3rd one basically has a man trying to get home. He's way too far from home. There's no way he's going to get there, but he's still trying and walking, trying to get home. And you know he won't. And it's a similar kind of feeling of, this is devastating, but the persistence of the human spirit is beautiful. I recommend those movies for anybody who hasn't seen them.
I'll check those out because they sound bleak and existentially awful, but I will watch them. But that's what this episode is. It's basically cosmic horror.
Yeah.
It is. It's cosmic horror, it's body horror, and it is just the bleakest type of the bleakest type of story where nothing's going to work out. Everybody's doomed and they know it, but they keep trying. And I admire that about this episode. There are some things I wish they would have done differently. I think they showed their hand a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
Because I think the moment that you find out that they're not really the Voyager crew, you instantly stop caring.
Yep.
And I don't mean like you stop caring, but it's like, oh yeah, why should I care? I'll tune in next week and see what's happening with the real crew. I think that if they'd have played their cards a little bit closer to their chest and actually like made you think that was B'Elanna who died and that was Chakotay who died, and just sat there watching this episode going, what the heck is going on? And then reveal in the last 10 minutes maybe that, oh yeah, they're these demon creatures who, yeah, somehow they made a ship and they got out here. I think it would have been a little bit more effective. But right now, it's still, I think, an underrated episode. And I think it deserves respect for being brave and saying, sometimes you're doomed, but you still don't give up.
That's right. And I want you not to give up. So I want you to go and give us a like so that we don't give up. Give us a like. It's free. I try to bring some nice things into it. It got really dark, so I just got to bring some levity into it.
What makes you think I was about to give up? Now I'm insulted.
No.
Sure.
But we appreciate you. And if you're new to the channel, because you're a fan of good old buddy Jacob here and his love of Trek, be sure to give us a follow because we have a lot of fun things that Trek related and wonderful interviews. And Jason Roy Gaston is here. Like, what more could you want? Right?
VHS Jace would be fun.
Oh, well, he's busy.
And he's grumpy.
He's old man Nielsen.
It's terrible.
I like to think I'm not grumpy.
No, not grumpy at all.
Nah.
Well, we discussed all the bleakness of this episode. Let's discuss some of the good things that happened. Nothing like the twinkle of his eye. Jason Roy Gaston, if you please.
Okay. So, I mean, there's lots of redeeming features with this episode. As I said, existential horror. This episode is not just sad, but it also makes you feel sticky at the same time, and I don't know why. Everybody's melting physically and emotionally. It's the only Star Trek episode where the enemy is entropy, and denial, and just strictly being made out of modeling clay.
Yeah.
That's the bad guy there. And I love episodes and I love stories where there is no bad guy in another ship going. I just like Star Trek 4 is my favorite Star Trek movie. And it's because there's no bad guy. It's just, yeah, we gotta get these whales to the future. And episodes like this with no bad guy, I don't know. I just like people fighting fate and forces of nature and just standing there saying yes when the universe is going no. And we will survive, and the universe just kind of goes, no, you won't. No, you won't.
TNG episode where before every commercial break the ship explodes.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I love that episode.
Yeah, is that what Kelsey Grammer? Doesn't he show up at the end of that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was also
Niles. What have you done with the deflector array?
They were also supposed to have Kirstie Alley in that episode as Savick, but she wasn't available.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
they could have got Robin Curtis.
Well, it was either they wanted Kirstie Alley or nothing, and I was just
because it's a mini Frasier reunion.
It's a
Cheers.
mini Cheers reunion, but after that I was just kind of like, it's kind of weird. Robin Curtis was done dirty. I think.
Yeah.
She was done dirty
for sure.
But yeah, it's I don't know. To me, I think the most redeeming feature of this episode is that, in a weird way, it is inspiring. This is I hate to use this kind of analogy because it sounds like I'm being super disrespectful. I'm not. This episode gives me the same vibes as watching what's the name of that movie? United 83, the one about
Yeah, I know the one.
Oh, when they stopped the plane from crashing into
when they stopped the plane from hitting the White House, or I think it was for the White House, and they ended up crashing in a field, because it's the same thing. All those people, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying it gives me the same vibes. And the fact that it was like real people who did this, you're doomed, but you do the right thing anyway. You're doomed, but you keep fighting. You're doomed, but you hold on to your principles and everything that makes you you. And I think for those reasons, you can still be brave. You can still be noble. You still can be right, even though you're going to turn into a big puddle of goo. You are still Starfleet, even if the universe can erase you without comment. I find that disturbingly beautiful in a way. Just to see, I don't know. I think that it was an episode a long time ago where it was that episode with the Klingons in the first season of TNG, when somebody said the reason why Klingons look into the eyes of a dying warrior is because that's whenever they show you who they really are. And it's the same thing. We're looking into the eyes of dying warriors with this episode, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Jacob.
Redeeming features. The things I've said already. When I talk about this episode being funny, that's not to denigrate the aspects of it, which I find very poetic, like you just noted, Jason. But also, since you noted about the beautiful things, I'm going to talk about the things that are funny, which is just that this is
yeah, that's what we love. Do it.
Harry Kim, I think he's captain like twice. There's the episode where he takes over the night shift, and he just manages to fuck everything up. I forget how. And then in this episode, he's made captain, and the ship disintegrates. You just can't make Harry captain.
Same reason why you don't let Troy drive.
I know. And then there's the bit at the end where the other ship shows up. And again, as a kid, this was like, oh my God, it's so heavy. And Jim was just like, what's all this goop?
It's a floating
somebody write that down, and then we'll get out of here. You might as well play the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme over the and that stop.
You know, what would have been funny is if whenever they come out of warp and they see the goof field, if all of a sudden this windshield wiper on the view screen starts going.
Oh man, go ahead.
And let me note here, because I have the time and a podcast to say it on. I love Catherine Janeway so much. I don't care that her character is inconsistent. I don't care that she occasionally commits war crimes. I love Kate Mulgrew, and I like her voice. And I just like watching Catherine Janeway get mad at things or be smug. I love watching her be smug because she's about to blow someone up. That's my favorite feeling in the world, is when you get to the end, when there's set 5 of the Voyager episode, and the other aliens have been beating them down the old episode, and Captain Janeway knows she has the upper hand, and she's just like, guess what, fuckers? Like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing in the world. That doesn't really happen here, obviously, but I just like Captain Janeway. Oh, let me grab something I have just to show you.
I'm just thinking of that old meme about I've come to drink coffee and kick ass, and I'm all out of coffee.
Oh, he's got the Janeway mug. Look at that.
This is a Kickstarter for some Voyager documentary, which I've still never received the actual movie, but I did get the mug. So
I don't think the movie's been released yet.
No, it's not out yet. We interviewed Neelix when they were like putting it together, and
his name is Ethan Phillips.
Ethan Phillips, yes.
I know this because you guys took the stage without me.
You're never gonna let us forget that.
I am never letting that go.
He's worked with the Coen brothers. Treat the man with respect.
Yes, Ethan Phillips. He's worked with Renee Benoit Jones. Come on.
Look at John.
Yeah. You were saying, or
I don't know. It's just a good episode, and it's like, and I'm amused again by the fact that they considered going a different way, and they decided not to. Who knows exactly why, but it's so bold. And just the idea of somebody watching this with their family on TV in like 1998, whenever it originally aired, and then just get to the end, and it's just like, just that shot of the starfield with the goop floating around and Voyager flies away, and then the family's just like, well, who wants pizza? Like, I don't know. Right now, the mood is so different. And then, 2 episodes later, you might have Tom on the holodeck fighting a black and white Space Emperor.
I thought it was the same season, I think, right? Yeah.
I love this show because, like you said, they tended to get experimental and just do whatever. Because I feel like Deep Space Nine was the show that people were really paying attention to, maybe at Paramount or whoever was calling the shots. Then I don't know. I feel like Voyager had more opportunities to just screw around a little bit, but I have no idea.
I would say so. I totally agree. All right. Well, it has been a while, and we are wrapping up the season, and we can't wrap up the season without our good old friend, the Wheel of Agony. Daddy Worf is going to take us into a new strange world and strange civilization of Trek that we've already seen before or not. We still have a Jason pick. Of course, our Patreons, Holly Mac 79 has chosen Hollow Pursuits, and Joe Saporito has chosen the longest episode title ever, Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad. Yes. Okay, so those are the ones, and we have the Sanctuary from Deep Space Nine, and we have Cat's Paw from the original series. So we will spin the wheel. Yes.
That's one where we find out Spock is a cat person.
Yes. And I know VHS Jason's going, why is my wheel wonky? The fuck did you do to my wheel?
Well, this is the wheel of beige.
Yes.
Experiencing beige at the moment.
Yes. And boom, Cat's Paw. That's Star Trek. Cat's Paw, the original series. Very alien visitors to our galaxy attempt to connect with human consciousness, but miss, winding up tapping into the regions of the human nightmares instead.
We wanted to attempt to contact human consciousness, but we missed.
We wanted to extend your warranty. Jacob, what were we going to say? Jason.
don't know. I'm just thinking, you were trying to contact us mentally and you missed. No, you miss at the toilet. You don't miss when you're aiming for someone's brain.
Jacob, let everybody know what you do and where to find you.
I'm, my name is Jacob. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I have, for the last year or so, I'm almost coming up on 1 year. I've been doing videos where the whole concept is I say, hey, man, at the beginning, and then I can talk about or do whatever. I wake up, I don't know what I'm going to do most mornings, but I think that's what keeps the account kind of fresh, is that I have ADHD and I get bored with every bit very fast. So I'm constantly coming up with new bits and just trying to run around, and people like listening to me rant about stuff. I'm working on something for my Patreon and for YouTube, which is the first time I've done like an extended video talking about pop culture thing, which is there's some old footage of Johnny Rotten or John Lydon from 2007, where he's having a meltdown at a Guitar Hero press conference. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and I just need people to understand it. But again, I'm on TikTok, and Instagram, I think it's the Hey Man. And then on YouTube, I think it's just the Hey Man. And I was shocked that was available on YouTube, which has been around for like 20 years, but it was. And so I sat on that one. So.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, we're so glad to have you. And guys, go follow him. He's hilarious. There's a lot of fun things to check out on his Instagrams. And we're going to wrap it up with saying hello to everybody in the chat, and then we're going to go home.
We were just talking about you. Everybody hates you. Congratulations.
All right.
I'm already home.
I appreciate that. Thank you. She says thank you. And this is about his lovely wife, Jessica, who is on the mend. During my rewatch of Voyager, I accidentally watched this episode on Monday. Oh, wow. The biggest giveaway that something was wrong was that Tom Paris is suddenly a lieutenant again. Oh,
right.
That is a very good catch. That's okay. I decided to hit 20 episode on boosting the signal. Oh, and that will be my season finale. So if you're not familiar, our good buddy, My Figure Universe, is one of the best boosters of the signal for the podcast universe out here. And he has a show where he interviews other people that are podcasters or a lot of toy people. And it's phenomenal because you get a lot of behind the scenes experiences and how some of these great toys are manufactured and how the brains of other podcasters worked. So what Jason, why are you bouncing?
How did I get in the middle?
I don't know.
I was going to say something like, I'm back here now.
Yes, I have the power.
It was like that.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I'm not like gooing up. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. You got to break it up the monotony somehow. That is very true. The ship was sinking into the silver blood into demons. That's a demon planet. So perhaps it was able to replicate the entire ship. That's my thoughts on that. Oh, why they were able to get the EMH and the warp drive and everything. Side note to Jacob, I absolutely love your Plan 9 poster.
Oh, well, thank you.
There you go. Very cool.
It's a great one.
Yeah. Hello, my CQ friends. The OTC has arrived. That is our good buddy, David Jones. He is known for being the background actor in several wonderful episodes of Star Trek Strange New Worlds and in Section 31, the movie, not the interview show that we have, which we'll get into later.
Which he has been in, though.
What's that?
He has been in it, though.
Yeah, he has been. Oh, he's been in that. Yeah, that's right. He was in our interview show.
Hey, I loaded a childhood video from like 1983. He's in it.
He was in it. Yeah, surprised.
In the background, watching this parade that I'm in, and I'm like 20 years older than him. How is he in this video? Smiling like Pennywise, just.
Karen McLeod says, I assume the special effects wanted to try the Odo melting button. Oh yeah, that's what it was. You know what really cool on Deep Space Nine? When Odo melts. Let's do that here. Jacob, I have to wonder if you have the episode playing somewhere on your monitor because we are getting some bad echoes. It's like a baseball game in the 1930s. Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what that is. The echo seems to have gone away. Well, thanks for the observation, My Figure Universe. I've seen this episode at least 17 times. Wow. Big fan. if I was going to get Star Trek Nemesis autographed by anybody, I would want them to sign that I'm sorry, not for me. I actually let him know how much I love that movie, and he looked up at me with surprise and awe, and he was like, "I like you," and I was like, I do too. Okay, so if you're gonna watch Highlander and skip to the second one, because you could probably skip the third one, but definitely recommend the fourth one, and never ever watch the fifth one. All right, so there you go.
Today I learned there was a fifth Highlander.
Yeah, the source, and there's it. Okay, this is the most amazing comment, and there's a reason why. When Karen first started to pop up in our live stream on the talks on the comment section, I've always noticed her name was McLeod, and the fact that she named her son Connor makes me very happy, because irony was not lost in the McLeod family over there. So Karen, I give you many props for that. My Free Universe says it's a really good name, especially if you're a Highlander fan. That or Duncan, exactly. Distant Origin was a great episode because it was one episode I can get my nephew to watch with me because it had dinosaurs. There we go. Greg Vorob. No, Greg, we started at a later time, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Leticia, good evening. Good to see you. My Finger says, I think the biggest insult they could have written into this episode is that Harry Kim would have gotten promoted. Oh, poor Harry Kim. Yes. What the heck is going on? Is everyone watching Star Trek 09 for the very first time under the impression that it was a full prequel? Okay. Is that something you said on your channel, someone? No? All right. That's okay.
I'm a little lost by that comment, to be
fair. Same here, but that's all good. Recorded random cinema.
Still love
you. Yeah, exactly. We still love you, Greg. I just recorded random cinema with VHS Chase and Nita the Sci-Fi Queens. A very shameless plug. Sounds fun. Curtis is my preferred Savick. So another Savick lover here. That's cool. Me watching Voyager as a teen. Janeway was older lady captain. Me watching Voyager now is that Janeway is a hot ass captain. Okay. Yeah, I really wish the journey would have come out physically. Greg says seeing the DS9 documentary in the theater with other fans was one of the greatest nights of my life. So fun. I hope they release to the Voyage in theaters too. I actually was there for the release of the documentary too in New York City. It was really cool. I did have that somewhere. Oh yeah. Since I did donate, I did get a signed schematic of Deep Space Nine, signed by Stephen Ira Burr, that says, "Where the hell are you, Joe?" So, that was all.
Ira Stephen Bear thing to say.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Greg, I forgot to tell you that I really wanted to see the DS9 documentary in theaters with fans, but at the time it was around my area, the world had closed down. Oof, that's rough. Sorry to hear that. Catspaw was the one letter from his name being Korob. I'm Borob. Okay. Oh, look at that. You already follow Jacob. That's fantastic. That's amazing. And there we go. So I appreciate the shout out. I think my last comment was filtered. Okay. Well, everybody, this is going to wrap it up for this wonderful season of the Agony Booth. Yes, we have seasons now. Next week, thank you for being our guests for this wild ride into the final of the season. And next week we'll be sending off everybody into the void, into the wormholes, and this is a Jason Roy Gaston selected episode, so he's going to drop knowledge on this episode tomorrow, right, Jason? You're going to pop it on all your socials. And I'm in for, I don't know what I'm in for.
Perversion.
Oh,
that is the word. This one was hopelessness. The next episode of Wormholes, perversion.
Oh boy. Well, that is going to wrap it up. And if you haven't, please go check out our interviews with Nicholas Meyer, Doug Drexler, and Chris Myers. No relation. Wonderful interviews that we've done in this past year. As we wrap it up, we also managed to interview J.G. Hertzler, Valkyris from Star Trek 3. We had so many wonderful people that we spoke to, and you guys got to go check it out. Dan Liu, We also spoke with Jonathan Del Arco, and he has his new book out, so be sure to check that out. And we've got a lot of fun in Wormholes with Jason all year, putting me on to Benji Zax and the Alien Prince, which was a wild ride. That was a while, and it keeps getting views, so I'm really glad you put me on. That's why I was like, you know what, you just pick the next one. Jacob, we will see you next time. We hope that you are not frightened off and you'll be willing to come back and hang out with us for another one. Anytime?
I think the echo somebody might have been hearing is my son laughing loudly as he goes to bed. But that's
like a Pennywise. All right.
My son clown. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, his son is Pennywise. Okay, great. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
You've made it through the Agony Booth, a Captain's Quadrant show. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you share this video with 5 people will also be in agony. Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. EST for more live shows, including Wormholes, Section 31 and a half, because we have questions, and At the Movies,